Hello and welcome to the Sun Racing preview of the Haydock Sprint Cup in association with Betway. I'm delighted to be joined by Steve Mullen, aka Templegate, and Chad Yeomans from Betway to discuss all the Saturday action. It really is a top-class weekend this weekend. Steve, starting with you, Templegate, a new job. The gilded job in horse racing, I would say. How have you found it so far?
Excellent. I mean, it's a real pleasure, a real privilege to be doing the job. I mean, I think I'm the 7th person maybe since the Sun
not been many, have there?
Started. And, you know, it's a real responsibility as well.
Yeah.
You know, you're the most read tipster in the country, like it or not.
Indeed.
On online and in print. So there's a lot of hard work, but I'm enjoying it so far.
And a bit of success so far as well?
Yeah, we've had a few winners, I haven't had any bricks thrown at me at the race course yet. So obviously things are going okay and hopefully onwards and upwards.
Long may it continue, exactly. Right, well, first of all, we're going to kick off with the big race on Saturday, which is the Sprint Cup at Haydock, featuring favourite Advertise, who was last seen winning the Prix Morny. He's also won the Commonwealth Cup this season and obviously has very strong form claims under Frankie Dettori. He's taking on a smattering of very good horses, including Cardem, who won the Stewards Cup last time out. The likes of Dream of Dreams for Sir Michael Stout, Forever in Dreams, Hello Yumzane, Fairyland, Walkfad, The Tin Man, Invincible Army, Brando, and possibly 10 Sovereigns, though that run looks unlikely now. There's going to be soft ground. Steve, I'll come to you first. A lot of rain recently. Looks like it's going to be pretty soft ground. 10 Sovereigns unlikely to run. It's going to be a bit of a slog.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame about the ground because I think everybody wanted to see 10 Sovereigns.
Absolutely,
take on Advertise over a trip that would probably suit 10 Sovereigns better. Well, definitely suit 10 Sovereigns better.
Very much.
Looks like that's not going to happen. And now kind of Advertise does look hard to beat, really.
Yeah.
The ground is a bit of an unknown for him, but I think looking at his breeding, it should be okay. Connections are confident. That run in Deauville last time, I thought that, although he didn't win by that far,
he was always doing enough, wasn't he?
There was more in the tank, and it was over an extended 6, which gives you hope for Haydock if it is testing.
Absolutely.
That at least whether he goes on the ground, we'll find out, but he shouldn't run out of petrol, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, because he's never run on that ground, has he? But as you say, his pedigree gives hope that he will.
Yeah,
he will
and Connections have said they would, and also, I mean, if they really thought he wasn't going to go on it, would you risk it knowing that it would bottom him for the season maybe?
Yeah.
I think that could be why we don't see 10 Sovereigns, because Ballydoyle are probably thinking, well, there's other prizes to go for.
Absolutely.
We don't want
to thinking about the Everest later in the season,
and we don't want a hard race that might ruin him for the year. But there's others. I mean, my old favourite, the Tin Man's running.
No,
and
you
I
do
know,
like that one, yeah.
And I know you probably say, I need a coat that buttons up at the back for thinking he might win. But he might win. I mean, his speed figure from last year was excellent. He loves the track, he loves the ground. I mean, I don't think he'll be Advertised, but I mean, I've seen some fancy prices around.
I think it's fair to say he is a bit slower than he used to be, but this ground could make,
well, it'll slow everybody
down. The others as well.
Yeah, it'll slow everybody down, and he does. We know he likes to race, and he has come into his own at this time of the year. And I trust the trainer. I mean, some trainers you think they just shoot at windmills, but he doesn't. And the champion jockey elects on board. I think a good run, as I say, it's a bit of a stretch to think he might win, but I wouldn't put anyone off a couple of quid each way on him.
Great stuff. So Advertise for the win probably, and Tin Man each way.
I would say so.
Chad, over to you. What are your thoughts?
I tend to agree with Advertise. We tried to pick holes in him, tried to find something to get beat, trying to find something to beat him. But when you go back, won on debut, second behind Calix in the Coventry, then won the July, then won the Phoenix. Didn't stay a mile when they tried it in the Guineas, which if you had a 3-year-old, Group 1, 2-year-old, you would try it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You would go for the Guineas and try. Didn't stay. Won the Commonwealth Cup fairly convincingly.
Yeah.
Second in the July Cup. The strangest July Cup I can ever remember, with 10 Sovereigns doing those miraculous figures from the front.
Extraordinary, wasn't it?
The field splitting. One of the horses a bit further back, Dream of Dreams, not getting the ideal run, despite only having 3 or 4 horses on this near side.
Well, you're quite a big fan of Dream of Dreams, aren't you, for Stacey?
I am, I really am. I think since he's been trained as a sprinter, which he has this season, he's been a different horse. He's not been trained over 7 furlongs, which is a bit of a specialist trip. He's not been trained over a mile, which he was a little bit earlier in his career. He's been trained as a pure sprinter, and we've seen the best. We all know Stats horse don't come to hand that quickly. Second in the Diamond Jubilee, which is probably the best sprint form available this season. It's just tipped off. And he had to do it the hard way. Went right from the back, came past all of them, and just couldn't get past Blue Point, which...
Well, we know how good Blue Point.
Exactly.
Blue Point, probably the best sprinter over the last 2 or 3 seasons, I would say. Yeah. It's the fact if it had been another few strides, he would have.
We would have got there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's one on soft ground as well, I think.
He has,
not at this level, but I mean, still.
Yeah, and at least we know he goes on the ground. Others we should definitely mention. We should definitely give Cardem a mention. I mean, he's not proven on the ground, and unlikely that he'll get it, but. He's definitely worth a mention, considering how impressive he was at Goodwood last time when he beat up some decent handicappers. I mean, look, he looked a group performer in the making.
Yeah.
This is a big step up to Group 1 company now. But Charlie Hills is absolutely superb with the sprinters. Needs a bit better ground. What are your thoughts?
Yeah,
Steve?
well, it was pretty quick at Goodwood when he won the Stewards'
was,
Cup.
yeah.
And it was very impressive. But like you say, this is a different level. I mean, he's young and he will improve though. But I mean, I can't think of really more opposite conditions to, full field handicap to a smaller field, Group 1 in soft ground. So if he wins it, then you've got to take your hat off and say, it's a superb performance. But I do think maybe a bit to find.
Yeah, especially, I think in this ground, stepping up to this grade, it's going to be all a bit too much for him. Chad, do you agree?
Still too early in his career. Although Group 1s from September onwards, the ground changes, doesn't it? And you do get some funny results. There's been no winning favourites of this race. Only 3 in the last 10 years. And there's 15 out of the last 17 horses who've come out of stall 1 have been unplaced. So stall 1 is the definite no-no. That's Invincible Army, who's been freshened up since his previous run.
Wolpfad, if that's the pronunciation, the German horse, German Raider, beat Cardem 2 starts ago and then didn't quite perform to his level last time out, but I think he does need a bit softer ground, and this kind of test could really suit him. He's quite a nice little price for Andrea Zany. And the other one is Fairyland, who I was at Ballydoyle yesterday, had a fantastic time there, and Aidan O'Brien said that 10 Sovereign's unlikely to run, and he's going to rely not solely on Fairyland, but that's his number 1 hope. And she's got some pretty good form in the book over 6 furlongs. She finished 3rd behind Advertise and 10 Sovereigns in the July Cup. I think she does stay a little bit further. She was campaigned over a mile earlier in the season, and this softer ground could bring her into play, and she always tends to finish strongly over this trip. So I definitely wouldn't discount her from towards because she gets a little weight allowance
Hello,
as well.
Youmzain as well.
Hello, Youmzain as well.
I was quite impressed with that run in the Commonwealth Cup. You wouldn't want to miss the break again, obviously.
No, not at all. But you did fly home, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can get a bit carried away when you see that happening. But again, he should be okay on the ground. So
lovely stuff. So selection time. Are you both going to go with the favourite? Or
yeah, I'm afraid so.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with it. If he's going to win, he's going to win.
Yeah.
I think Dream of Dreams is a good each way bet if you can get over 5 to 1, but Advertise will be very difficult to beat.
Yeah, I think Advertise will be difficult to beat. I'm inclined to go with Dream of Dreams as much as the number 1, and I think Wolpfad will run a big race in this ground. Now moving on to the Old Borough Cup, which is absolutely going to be a slogfest this year in likely to be heavy ground over 1 mile 6 furlongs. Looks a really competitive race as usual, with Corelli heading the market, having been second in his last 2 starts in very good races. Rashun, All Right Sunshine, Garbanzo, Time to Study and Rainbow Dreamer also heading up the market.
Really competitive.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, Corelli's headed the betting since the anti-post market opened earlier this week. I'm not a major fan. Hasn't won all season, has gone up from 95 to a mark of 102 without winning.
Yeah.
Runs consistently, but doesn't win enough. And I actually think he'd prefer better ground. I know he won his novice stakes on soft ground, but he was 1 to 3 and entitled to win on soft ground that day, on whatever the ground would have been on that day. I think he's probably priced more on the fact that it's the Frankie and got the Gosden factor.
Absolutely, yeah. Also off top weight in this ground is going to be tough.
Yeah, carrying 9 stone 10 is going to be very, very difficult. If he does win, then you've got to say he's a group performer. But he hasn't shown that in his previous start, so then is he going to be a group performer only on heavy ground? It's going to be
the horse that beat him last time at Tamria is running in the September Stakes, and it's 33 to 1 to win that.
Yeah.
And you think if Corelli's got to win this, he's
That's
going to have to be a
best bet you'll
group
ever
horse.
have. Yeah, of course.
So they obviously don't think Tamria is going to be good enough group class. So why really should Corelli be?
As we go a bit further down, last year's winner Rashun off 93 won this off 90 last year. It looks like it's been campaigned around winning this race again.
Yes, he does,
this race. Yeah. He's been well supported all week. Has been really well supported. The 2 I like at bigger prices, Blakeney Point.
Okay, yeah.
Back that a big price earlier this week. Last time at York, looked all over the winner 2 furlongs out over 2 miles in the race that Eddystone Rock won. I know you'll know that. You remember that race.
What a man! What a boy!
Yeah. I think it just didn't stay 2 miles. Probably, I think it was his 4th run of the season, 3rd run of the season. Maybe needed the run more than what we thought. Got a bit legless, went left and went right, and I think ended up finishing 10th. But 2 furlongs out, he called him the winner really. Loves soft ground. Finished 5th in last year's Ebor, in the 2018 Ebor off 105, now off 98. So you could argue he's very well handicapped, to the best of his form. I think Haydock will suit. I think the long straight Haydock will suit. 1 mile 6. I think he's a real cracking bet. And another one not so sleepy for the Hughie Morrison yard. My big doubt with him is he doesn't win enough.
Yeah.
I think he's won twice in the last 2 years. So he doesn't get his head in front and always runs consistent. But he'll like soft ground. And I think you like him as well.
I do, yeah. I thought that run at Nottingham last time. Again, didn't win. Ran well, didn't win. Yeah. But I mean, that's it. I just love the yard in staying races as well.
Yeah.
He really knows what he's doing. The ground will be fine. It stays all day.
He does.
But he might have to come second to Rashun, I think.
I rather agree.
Yeah. I think he's only had soft ground once since then, and that was a good run.
He's a horse that needs really sloppy conditions, doesn't he?
Had a wind operation, which probably, horses do need it like that.
Yeah.
Probably need. Good run at Newbury as well.
Yeah,
I
his
thought.
first run back from that operation was quite a good run. It was,
and he was never going to win on good to firm last time. So it's good, solid chances, I would say. We're not so sleepy each way, and if it's really bottomless, all right, Sunshine, I think, comes into it after that win at Musselburgh, when I think it was like get your wellies on rather than
it was get your wellies on, absolutely.
Up £5.
He does nothing but kind of win and come second. He's very consistent.
Yeah.
This kind of test is a bit tougher for him, being up in grade, but he's improving quickly, isn't he?
And the ground.
I like Rachoon, but I also like Ian Williams, his other runner, Time to Study. He loves very soft ground. Won easily last time in France. He's dropped to a decent mark on his old form. £10 lower than when he last won in England. And Kieran Fallon, who I love to love to give my all to, he's riding again. He rode a fantastic race in the Ebor on Red Galileo. He's improving quickly. He's really taken after his father. I think he's going to be a top class jockey in the future. But his £5 claim is utterly invaluable. And to get £5 off this horse in this ground is going to be very helpful, I think. Yeah, selection time, guys.
Rachoon, not so sleepy a little.
Rachoon, not so
sleepy. Tickle.
Blakeney Point is the one, and I think Rachoon runs well just because this has been his kind of target, I believe, and not so sleepy. But not so sleepy, he'll probably finish second or third.
Yeah, Rachoon for me as well. I can't really see him at the frame. He's got everything in his favour, hasn't he? And hopefully Ian Williams can have a really good day and get a 1-2 with Time to Study. On to the Cunard handicap at Ascot now. Ascot seems to love these races over 7 furlongs, these handicaps with 25, 30 runners, and they have so many each year. And unsurprisingly, Rip-Off heads the market again after he won this race last year. He's a standing dish in this kind of contest. He's got to take on, as usual, a very competitive field for this kind of race, including Salute the Soldier, Sanard, Escobar, Tabarak, Spanish City, and a smattering of others.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm not too original this time, but Rip-Off's a horse I've always liked. Won this race last year, as you said, very similar mark, although I think the jockey was claiming last year and he's not now. Whether that make a difference, we'll see. He'll need luck, obviously, because he'll be trying to weave his way through a big field, but the record at Ascot is so good. I thought the run at Newbury last time was a big improvement as well. Others, Fanar maybe prefers a mile. Escobar will be trying to come from behind as well.
Indeed. Well, Escobar, I'm sure, will love the strong pace.
Yeah, exactly, but Rip-Off will as well, so those two, as long as they don't get in each other's way, I think they could run well, and Tabarak's another one I thought, likes it here, won't mind the going, and I think should run a good race as well.
Absolutely, yeah. What about you, Chad?
I mean, Rip-Off's, as you said, the standing dish. It's the one you go to. He loves Ascot, won the race last year. Wouldn't mind any cut in the ground, so if we're going to get any rain over the box course, we'll appreciate that. This is easier than the other 7 furlong handicaps, easier than the International, easier than the Victoria Cup. This is his chance to win one this season. If he's going to win a 7 furlong handicap at Ascot, this is going to be the one.
He's always running out of chances. I mean, they have had so many, but he's actually running out of chances now, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he's running well in them as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like 4th and 5th, I think, in the two big ones.
Frustrating for punters, because we all think we back him at whatever price. He always gets backed in, he's always well supported, so we're always head of the game, and finishes 4th or 5th staying on, and you always think if, but maybe.
Yeah. Well, they turned to Jason Watson this time to try and get the best out of him. He's obviously a class jockey.
I think he run well. And there's a few others at big prices. I really like Another Bat for Richard Hughes. This horse ran really well in the Lincoln behind Auxerre, and off 105, I think it was. He's very, very talented. He's now off 95. He's very well handicapped, liked Ascot. The jockey, Angus Villiers, claimed 7.
Very, very good young jockey.
Very, very good young jockey, very. And he won a race at Sandown, the last race we sponsored last weekend. It'd be great if he could get his hands on this pot. I do think he's a massive price, Another Bat, really do. And one I know I'm going to take a bit of your thunder here, because I know you want to talk about him, so I won't mention too much, is Sanard. I think if he was trained by anyone other than Michael Wigham, he'd be half the price.
Another one I'd like to mention, with another good young claiming jockey, is Marco Gianni on Spanish City. A good £7. This horse wears first time cheek pieces. Came back to form at Yarmouth last time out in an admittedly weaker race than this one. But he's on a very good mark. He's now £4 lower than when he was 4th in this race last year with the claiming jockey. And I can see him running a big race if everything goes to suit. But we'll see. But yeah, selection time, guys. Steve, what about you?
Rip-Off. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. You don't have to apologise. If it wins, it wins.
I'll go with Another Bat as the best bet. Rip-Off, I do think will get placed, and Sanada get placed as well, I think.
Yeah, I think Sanada will get placed at least. I also think Spanish City's got a big shout each way. Finally, leaving the best till last, it is the Sun Racing September Stakes. Now, Sun Racing is sponsoring the whole card at Kempton on Saturday, and this race looks an absolute cracker, with Best Solution returning, having won the Caulfield Cup last season, and the Grosser Price von Baden in Germany. He's got proper Group 1 form. Whether he can come back and do the business in Group 3 company remains to be seen in the all-weather, but he's definitely got the form to be up there. Royal Line for John Gosden, November Handicap winner last year. Muta Sadir loves the all-weather. There's a few in this with really good chances. Steve, I'll come to you first. Thoughts on this one?
Yeah, well, it's horses that we haven't seen much of, isn't it? The two main protagonists, Best Solution, Royal Line, both good enough to win this if they're fit enough. But Best Solution, I mean, Group 1 form really does shine like a beacon, really.
Yeah, it
and
really
it's not any old Group 1 form either. It's Caulfield
good,
Cup.
yeah.
And
The only thing for me about him is that he's never won on the all-weather. He's won a lot in Maidan, but he's never won the all-weather. He's run twice on dirt, but got beaten both times.
Yeah, Maidan and Kempton. Have they got that much in common? I'm not entirely sure.
You could well be right.
And it's a good first service. Maybe they're thinking it's guaranteed good ground for his comeback.
Yeah.
I mean, Royal Line's no pushover.
No,
like you say, I mean, winning the November Handicap listed race last time. I think it was a fourth in a listed race last time. Yeah. That should bring improvements. And like you say, Muta Sadir. To me, the run at Newcastle last time was a bit of a worry, although this is very difficult, the different conditions, obviously. I think Best Solution, I'd be disappointed if it doesn't win.
I agree with you, Best Solution. Group 1 form are going to be very hard to beat, but I think Muta Sadir is the bet of the weekend. He has an absolutely fantastic chance in this. He's 4 from 4 in the all-weather. I'm going to put his Northumberland Plate run last time down to the fact I don't think he's as good on Tapeter, and I also think 2 miles isn't his best trip. Back to 1 mile 4 now, I can see him running an absolutely huge race. Every time he goes to Kempton, he wins. Chad, what do you think about that?
I tend to agree with Muta Sadir. Didn't stay 2 miles the last 2 times, and before that I was outclassed against Stradivarius earlier in the season. So the last 3 runs I think you can put a line through, and Hugo Palmer's horses are now in better form than they've been in the last 18 months.
Very good point.
He won over course and distance off the same mark in May. And I think from that day they probably thought, we know this race is coming, the September Stakes.
Yep.
This could be another target. He likes Kempton, everything. It looks a bit tailor-made.
It does really. I'm quite surprised he's actually as big as he is. He's around 41 mark, I think. I suppose with Best Solution ahead in the market, it makes sense. But
I'd really oppose Best Solution.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to this reasoning.
No, well, he's rated 121 on official rating. He's rated £10 better than Royal Line. Muta Sadir is rated £11 better than. He is.
But here comes the run.
Double your stakes.
He is. This is not his be-all and end-all.
No, that's true.
This is going to be a prep run before a prep run for other...
Possibly the Caulfield Cup again.
Is this trip going to be a bit too short? Is it going to happen a bit quick at Kempton?
No.
He's also not run for a while, has he?
No, not run for a while. And the form in Germany isn't as good as the form over here tends to be. I know you're probably going to agree.
I would
agree.
It's basically on class, isn't it, that you think if he turns up, but like you say, there are mitigating circumstances. I still don't think they'd like to see him get beaten a Group 3 when the targets are a Group 1, if you see what I mean. But
I just think at that level, they don't see it as this is a Group 3, we need to win.
No, true.
Their operation's so different that they don't mind finishing 2nd, 3rd, 4th. It's not about the prize money, it's just about getting a prep run at the right time to fit the calendar. And I think he'll probably go off and win a Group 1 somewhere else, or probably win multiple Group 1s, and probably win at the weekend. I'll end up eating my hat, which I'm happy to do. If he wins impressively, because as a racing fan, we want to see good winners.
Well, selection time, guys?
I'm sticking with Best Solution.
Yep.
See how he gets on.
I can't split the two, but Royal Line and Muta Sadir, they've both got pros, and the prices should probably both be backed against the Fav.
Great stuff. Well, obviously, I'm giving Muta Sadir a massive shout, and I'm going to go with him for my best bet and my best bet of the entire weekend, which I will come to you two now. Best bet of the weekend?
I'm going to go with Rashun in the Borough Cup.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah.
And Chad?
The price is another bat in the Canard or Blakeney Point in the Old Borough Cup.
Nice each way double.
It's the each way double to pay your mortgage off, guys.
Thanks very much, guys. Really enjoyed it this week. That's all from us here at Sun Racing and the latest of our previews in association with Betway. Best of luck to you all at home for what promises to be a top-class Saturday of racing.